WNBA. They have been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century.
What's up, everyone? Well, here we are. Another WNBA season is underway, and viewership, well, it's booming. Well, at least that's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that after almost 30 hard years, the league is finally making major strides to becoming a respected and accepted league. But is this actually the case? Well, to be blunt,
No.
Oh.
Hell no. No.
because...
Real talk. Hold up.
Well, because the league is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, and it will continue to be terrible until it addresses three major issues plaguing the league.
Okay.
These issues being a major lack of entertainment value, a lack of any meaningful evolution in the game, and most importantly, a major attitude problem that pushes potential fans away from the league. Before we dive into these reasons, let's quickly put this year's viewership numbers into perspective.
Okay.
Sure, the WNBA has made some small progress when it comes to a TV audience, but really, it's done nothing in its TV audience numbers when compared to other major sports. If we want to compare the WNBA to the NFL is putting up 17 million viewers a game. The MLB is putting up about 1.4 million.
There's a long one to right field. Forget about it.
And the NBA, 1.6 million.
Oh, look at that pass. Look at the pass.
On the other hand, the WNBA this year is putting up 550-ish thousand viewers a game. Woo! Which is the best the league has done in almost 20 years.
Whoa.
20 years.
So I wanted to get additional numbers on this so I can understand the trend since the inception of the WNBA. So you'll see numbers here from 1997 up until 2023. And this is number of TV viewers that have just watched the finals. So you'll see here viewers in thousands. So this is 500,000. So you'll see here almost 3 million viewers in 1997. And then the trend line goes down. It's crazy to think that any entertainment business received its pinnacle 25 years before, but the creator of this video is absolutely correct. The WNBA is trying to convince you that it's doing better than what it actually is, but look at where they are during their peak. The numbers during the last NBA Finals back in 2023, while higher than the previous years, you'll see that the last time that they achieved these numbers was way back in 2003. 20 years ago. The WNBA is in a toxic relationship with the NBA because while not performing, the NBA has subsidized the women's league. Name any damn spinoff of any damn show that's been performing like this that is still in existence today. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Ultimately, the WNBA got loads of free advertising this summer because there is a national news story surrounding one of the league's best players who was locked up in Russia and then used in a prisoner swap for shit. What's that guy's name again? Oh yeah, the Merchant of Death.
Rarely does the U.S. government want anyone more than it wanted this man. His name is Victor Boot, and he's known as the Merchant of Death.
Whoa.
Seems like a fair trade.
I don't think I can name a worse trade in history ever. And I'm not just talking sports, but I mean in anything ever. Shout out to the Biden administration. We got fleeced. But there goes the impact of woke, driving completely sane people down the rabbit hole of irrationality. I think the Merchant of Death Griner trade was the first WNBA trade that anybody has ever talked about. All right, I'll see my way out.
Brittany Griner for the Merchant of Death.
Crazy.
I wonder people might have been a little more interested in the league this year. And then combine that with one of the more exciting women's March Madness tournaments of recent years, and you got your answer for the viewership numbers. But unless the WNBA is going to use the marketing tactic of getting one of their stars arrested in a country we're fighting a proxy war with every summer, and then also rely on an exciting women's college tournament, they're in for a shock because those numbers are going to come back down to reality, just like they have in the past. Okay, now that everyone should not be fooled by the numbers, let's go ahead and dive into the main issues that are plaguing this league and have been for decades. First, the league just simply isn't entertaining.
Boring.
Which is a pretty important issue.
Lower the rim.
If the league is in the sports entertainment business, keyword entertainment.
Yep.
Look, I know women hoopers got talent, but talent ain't the issue. because unfortunately, America has been telling the league for almost 3 decades that they don't find it entertaining.
Right.
By not watching the league. Real talk.
Real talk.
The league is probably about as entertaining as 10th to 11th grade boys basketball. You know, again,
less.
WNBA players way more talented than high school players. But let's keep it real, man. As soon as dunks, alley-oops, just overall above the rim play enter into the high school game, for many, that's going to be more entertaining than watching the WNBA where they just shoot and do layups.
Right.
Which leads us to the next major issue. A major lack of evolution in the game. Sure. The league has changed some minor rules here and there, but
bench decorum, the rule is pretty simple. The league said that it wants to reduce disruptions and distractions during live play. Basically, chill over there with some of those wild team celebrations. I would think the wild team celebrations might actually add to the entertainment value.
Everyone knows
coach challenges. Okay, so now the coaches can challenge plays.
What the league really needs to change to make it more palatable.
Take fouls. The transition take foul has brought more free-flowing transition offense than NBA and WNBA, hoping it's going to do the same. I guess the issue is that it's boring. These rule changes are not going to make it any less boring, right? Just lower the goddamn rim. They already made the ball smaller to fit women's hands. Lower the rim. They're not as tall as us. They can't jump as high. Lower the rim.
On a mainstream level. Which is lower the goddamn rim.
Facts.
All right, 9'4". That should be good.
You're missing arguably the most exciting aspect of the male game in the WNBA.
Damn, Pippen.
You know, I already got a video on this, so I'm not going to rehash it too much. But lowering the rim to 9.5, you're going to allow basically a third of the league to dunk. Okay? Now you got above the rim play. You got them alley-oops.
Throws it ahead to Smith. Smith, alley-oop to James. Wow.
Blocked up.
Durant exploding. Going up, net in mid-flight by Embiid.
Women dunking on other women.
That's entertaining. People want to see that. Come on. Damn it. It's an easy change. It's a change that would immediately radically improve the entertainment value of the league and bring in more fans.
Yeah.
However,
Hold up. Wait a minute.
if the goal really is to entertain, then the obvious answer is to lower the rim so you could be more entertaining. Being able to dunk will do that. I mean, shit, even at your local LA Fitness game, people pay more attention to the games where there's dudes that are yamming on the court. They're less likely to watch a pickup game full of jobbers with weak knees. But the WNBA's resistance to this makes it feel like they'd rather compare themselves to men than actually be entertaining.
this suggestion leads us to the biggest issue that is plaguing this league. That issue being players' attitudes. Anytime players receive not just criticism, but honest suggestions, they have a full-on emotional breakdown.
How dare you?
For example, let's take a look at this real basketball fan asking an honest question and then getting told his question is somehow disrespectful and ridiculous.
Okay.
Do you think that the game will get more watch if the rims were a little bit shorter? And so, like, what females say, like, for guys, it's something when you see somebody get dunked on.
I'm very glad you asked this because this is probably one of the most offensive questions you can ask a WNBA player.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
And I'm not trying to read you right now. I'm just trying to get you to understand why it's not logical to ask us to do that. So, we're constantly being compared to men. We have people excelling at a 10-foot rim.
What?
And now you want us to lower the rim so we can continually be compared, only to still be criticized because now you have someone like me who has done what she's done.
Okay.
Anything you can do, I can do better. What is all this talk about excelling at 10-foot rims? Is she not watching the same game? And also, it seems as though she's complaining about being compared to men, but when it comes to the salaries, you're okay with being compared then.
First off, you know what's actually disrespectful here? The league! The
Oh,
WNBA
God.
existing in itself. Because it's a slap in the face to anyone that actually has to give value out in the world to receive a salary. So it's amazing that you think you're excelling at a 10-foot rim. However, unfortunately for you, nobody knows. Because nobody watches. Nobody goes to the games. And you know, this constant complaint about being compared to men in the NBA and how the WNBA and its players don't want that is rich. It's actually quite hypocritical because when it comes to salary, WNBA players are the first to point and compare themselves with the NBA.
Yep.
We are not asking you to get paid what the men get paid. We're asking you to get paid the same percentage of revenue shared.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Got it. So that's a huge misconception.
That's a huge misconception.
Got it. Okay.
For sure. Yeah, because every video is like, oh, this person gets paid this person gets paid that, right?
So I want to be really clear about that. Like, I don't think I should get paid the same as LeBron.
Right.
But the percentage of revenue, like, for example, we compare it to now to where the NBA is now.
Of course.
Right?
What? Getting paid for a percentage of revenue when you're losing money. Okay, the NBA can get paid off of that because there's profit. The WA can't have that happen because there's no profit. Why would you, what the hell? Why would you compare yourself to a version of the game that makes money and say, well, we should get what they make irrespective of the profit? Holy moly.
This hypocritical attitude that is so detached from a business reality has seemingly infected the minds of almost every WNBA player. And it's one of the key issues that pushes so many potential fans away from the league.
Nasty work.
In fact, it leaves potential fans disgusted. Let's keep going. You know, for many of us, having the ability to gain wisdom directly from a person who has reached the top, the pinnacle of a business field, a field that we also wish to succeed in, would be a chance of a lifetime. And many of us would jump and salivate at that opportunity.
Right.
Yet, this is a chance that WNBA players are consistently offered. And how do they respond? With an arrogant attitude. Example one of this, Breanna Stewart and her ridiculous straw man response to T-Mac.
For somebody that don't watch WNBA basketball, to have women dunking on other women would definitely bring more excitement to that game.
Yep.
We're only playing basketball to dunk? Like, I'm not sure.
No! Oh my God. Lord have mercy. The arrogance is so palpable and utterly ridiculous. T-Mac, one of the best to ever suit him up in the NBA, was merely saying maybe just some dunks a game would bring more entertainment to the WNBA.
This is what I'm saying. It's an absolutely toxic relationship. She just gaslit the shit out of a legend as in T-Mac. This is the same thing when you go to your girl, you're like, you know, I don't really like that outfit on you anymore. And then she's like, what does that mean? Am I getting fat? No, I didn't say that actually. Oh my God, you're such a narcissist. I mean, damn, I'm just so triggered. The pure arrogance and just inability to just listen. And taking the words that you say and then completely making up what they thought that you said. I'm clearly triggered.
Which everyone knows is a fact. Then, of course, there's that classic Candace Parker clip where she responds to Shaq saying,
No.
I mean, because listen, y'all are doing the step back, the pull back. Y'all doing everything we're doing, but I don't see a lot of people going up with two hands. And, you know, back
Oh, it's coming. Opportunity is a...
So you don't think if we just drop it to 9, 10
Nah,
and a half?
I guarantee.
Flash?
Layla, she's into dance, but my next child will be drop step dunking, I promise.
Candace, you realize Lisa Leslie first dunked a ball in a WNBA game 23 years ago. So by that logic, the league should be full of motherfuckers dunking.
Right.
Which it's not. Again, being so arrogant to tell one of the most entertaining basketball players of all time, who made his name as well as hundreds of millions of dollars off of his ability to dominantly dunk on people. That you know, the WNBA, we actually don't need that. Again, who would possibly support a league that is riddled with such arrogance?
Yeah.
Okay, quickly, we need to address that last point Candace snuck in there, because it embodies the final piece of the puzzle in the attitude problem plaguing the WNBA, which is this ideological belief that society has constructed male and female bodies to be different and unequal. But given enough time, women will be able to correct that and have a similar athletic performance as men.
My next child will be drop step dunking, I promise.
Okay, I don't want to dive into too much academic shit because it's kind of boring, but this belief stems from one of the grandmas of modern day sociology. Her name's Judith Lober, And Judith, well, she argued about 30 years ago in an article titled Biology as Ideology that, if we give it enough time and enough correction, women and men can actually have the same athletic performance, the same athletic outcomes. Instead of...
This is the feminist final boss. I didn't know that this young lady existed. Whoa.
Instead of listening to me explain why this is a ridiculous theory, let's go ahead and let Dave Chappelle tackle it.
What does it actually mean to be equal? You know what I mean? Like, women are actually equal to men, then there would be no WNBA, would there?
Yeah, they would just play with the NBA.
You would just be good enough to play in the NBA with us.
Big facts.
Although clearly false, this ideological equality attitude is pervasive in the league, and it really needs to stop. Because the vast majority of sports fans can see the truth, which is that if the WNBA was treated as a business rather than a tokenist landmark of female athletics, it wouldn't exist. The league would have been dead and buried years ago.
Yeah.
And it would have a tombstone that read, "Here lies an idea that lost shit tons of money."
Fantastic point. Yeah. If you want equality, this would have been ended a long time ago. Like I said, name a spit-off with those numbers over 25 years that continues to be a thing. It doesn't exist. But this whole section about ideologies resulting into our evolution is absolutely crazy. And it actually makes me think about the mantra of your everyday modern feminists about this whole manifesting thing. How about you manifest the eyes of more women to watch the very sport that you claim is entertaining to watch? That would solve y'all problem. I mean, women are half of our population. The viewership numbers will be doing fine then.
Ultimately, potential fans don't want anything to do with a league that is filled with players that have a disrespectful, hypocritical, and incorrect ideological-based attitude. As long as that exists, so will videos like these criticizing the WNBA. So please, WNBA, I plead to you, make the league more entertaining. Lower the rims and drop the ideological attitude that pushes so many potential fans away from the league.
Absolutely amazing video by content creator Too Lazy to Hoop. I'll leave a link to his original video as well as his channel down in the description box down below. Go check out his channel. Fantastic content. I think he left one thing out when it comes to the reason of the current WNBA numbers. And to his credit, and many content creators like it, I actually think that content creators producing content about the WNBA gets us talking about it, which then could correlate into more people watching it to see what is all the hoopla about. Good press or bad press, it's still press at the end of the day. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do with me. Go to tourismreviews@gmail.com. Guys, I uploaded this to my Patreon way before I uploaded it on my channel. So make sure you go to my Patreon if you want early access to videos as well as a bunch of unlisted content, VODs, as well as live streams only available on my Patreon. Until next time, YouTube, peace.